Good evening, everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and today I want to talk about the young Dolph suspects that were recently arrested. For those of you who are following along, Adolph Thornton, otherwise known as Young Dolph, was a rapper that was killed in Memphis back on November 17th, 2021. Well, recently they have arrested two individuals that they allege are responsible for his killing. And those individuals are Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. Now, one of the things the prosecution has charged them both with a multitude of offenses. First degree premeditated murder, which is a life imprisonment sentence, attempted murder, larceny, more than $10,000 but less than $60,000, related firearms offenses, and being in possession of a firearm when they were ineligible to do that. Now, one of the things that the people have to show the prosecution, they have to show each and every element beyond a reasonable doubt. We got that. But what they also have to be able to show, and they're going to have to be able to prove, is that these individuals were the ones that were in fact responsible. Now, the defense attorney is going to be asking for what we call a witness identification instruction. And what does that mean? Well, basically, what they're going to do, and the judge will instruct them, is to the following. When you make a determination of whether or not the prosecution has proved each and every element beyond a reasonable doubt, and that these are the individuals, how long the witnesses, the eyewitnesses, had to view the suspects. Well, we know that there was a very short period of time. A couple minutes probably seemed like seconds. The lighting, it was a November day. It's pretty good lighting. The length of time that they had to actually make an observation. Now, let's take a look at what they've seen. We know that both of them have gym shoes on. They have gray sweatpants on. You can't see this, but they also have gloves on their hands, as well as a hat, as well as masks covering their face. The suggestiveness by the police. Did the police say anything to suggest to these individuals that they're going to do a lineup with, that these were the individuals that were responsible? And the time between the event and the identification, which we know is about almost 2 months. The prosecution has to be able to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. And what the defense is going to argue is, hey, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, let's take a look at that one more time. What do we see here? We see the alleged suspects, but let's take a look at what, in fact, they're wearing. They're almost identical in their attire, gray sweatpants, face mask covering, etc. So there's going to be a challenge. Normally in these cases, however, the prosecution will put forth witnesses that are going to be cooperating, witnesses that somehow maybe one of them made statements to, fingerprints, whether or not there were prints that were found on the vehicle, etc., as well as telephone recordings, whether or not, they texted somebody, emailed something, etc. So those are the kind of circumstantial things that the prosecution is going to rely on, but the defense is going to hammer with them with nobody can identify these individuals because of the things that we talked about, the length of time, the fact of how they were attired, etc. Well, listen, we'll find out pretty soon. Mr. Johnson is also known as Straight Drop, who is a local rapper in Memphis. And recently, Yo Gotti's attorney, Art Horn, was hired and then quit regarding the representation. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. And this has been Vonda Evans.